This video is in light of the ending of Raw for November 9th. Now, I'm doing this the day after Raw, and it still sticks with me, and it still bugs the crap out of me. So that's why I'm doing this video. I'm doing this video just to say this one thing, or two things. Screw Taker and screw Kane. Don't get me wrong, I love them both. They had great legacies, they had tremendous moments in their career, huge historical points that will always be branded in my memory. But if it's to the point where the company are willing to try to, I don't know, prolong their legacy or enhance their legacy more than the future, I say screw Taker and Kane. The storyline itself was completely odd and something that I never would think that they would actually think of. It's something that's straight out of a Halloween horror story. But it would have been great if they actually planned it well. The fact that they chose to use soul instead of power was something that boggled my mind. But if they decide to use soul, for crying out loud, play it out. I know kayfabe is dead. It's a given. It is. But if you want to be creative with it, and you actually do want to bring some enthusiasm into the audience, make Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family stronger. This video is not because I am a mark or anything for the Wyatt family. This is just because that they constantly keep pushing this guy, and then they keep dropping the ball every single time. They dropped the ball with him with John Cena, and they dropped the ball with him again with Roman Reigns. Just when they actually had developed a good story going on up to WrestleMania 30, they decided in the very end literally to bury Bray Wyatt. He literally trapped Bray Wyatt under some debris, and that's how he was able to win. And then that ridiculous win after the fact doesn't even matter anymore, because that was freaking WrestleMania 30. You had a decent pay-per-view build you had a decent build on the pay-per-view that had him versus Roman Reigns. I can't think of the actual pay-per-view at the time, but honestly, if you know it, by all means, leave it in the comments. But it was a decent build. They had literally made Bray Wyatt look crazy. They literally made him have a possibility of kidnapping, which is dark for even for him. But the fact is, they really made his character psychotic, what his character was supposed to be. And then they dropped the ball with him by having him win clean to Roman Reigns instead of having Roman Reigns hold out until Survivor Series. At least a bigger pay-per-view to have a bigger payoff. They actually had a clean win quickly, pretty much squashing everything that Bray Wyatt has ever done. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, Bray Wyatt is the type of character, he's psychotic heel. His purpose is not to win, but to literally get in the heads of his competitors. They have a point. Halfway. It's kind of half and half. I understand what they're saying. The whole purpose of his psychotic character, just like I said on my review, is to get in the heads of his opponents, to literally screw with them. That's the purpose of a psychotic heel, to get in the head of the faces. I get that. But there's only so far it can go. There's only so far all these losses can go without the WWE Universe not taking that guy seriously. Bray Wyatt has had so many epic losses that even his wins are minor. That's not good. Bray Wyatt is a character that can get bigger, that can actually be intimidating, that can be a force worth reckoning with, however the phrase goes. He can actually be an enemy to the entire company. He can make the entire company scared. That's what the Wyatt family can do. They can dominate. And they came so close with this Undertaker-Kane angle. The fact that they actually took out Taker when he lost against Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell. And I think it was Hell in a Cell with the Roman Reigns clean win, which was stupid, in a Hell in a Cell match, even though it was one of the most brutal. But either or, I will say this. The fact that you kidnapped Taker, the fact that you took him down, dragged him out, Lord knows what you did. Did the same thing with Kane a few nights later, dragged him out, had Taker's hat and Kane's mask, practically dominated one of the biggest icons in the business. That takes some balls, people. That shows that this guy is not afraid to take down the icons. And then they bring out the whole soul-sucking whatever it was. The fact that he absorbed the essence of Taker and Kane. Okay, as weird as that is, it would have made plenty of sense if they instead of having the physical form come out, like what happened on Monday, was to actually have Undertaker and Kane's so-called souls haunt his mind. Literally make him go crazy. The one thing that we have not seen Bray Wyatt the one thing we haven't seen Bray Wyatt ever do is break. We have not seen him break. We have not seen him broken. We have not seen him on the verge of insanity. Would you believe that would have been the best angle to go? If you really wanted your beloved Taker and beloved Kane to come back, it would have made sense to have him haunted. Have his mind haunted. Have his mind literally break down. Literally feel what his victims have been feeling. Don't you think that would be a little bit more creative way to break down Bray Wyatt without completely burying him? And yeah, I'm going to use the word buried, because that really was a burial. They had built this guy up so far to become literally the next Undertaker. To take over what Taker started. Not really take over completely his legacy, but to be something new. To be something different. That's the one thing that I was looking forward to, for Bray Wyatt to be something different. To have a whole new edge to him. To not really take the torch from Taker, but to literally exceed him. That's what I wanted Bray Wyatt to have. And they came close with this entire angle. And it looked like it was going well. But instead, they get scared, they panic, so they bring back the physical guy, completely 86ing everything they built up, and then nothing. If it's to the point where they're literally that afraid of what the audience is going to think, that it's going to affect their money, then I'll just say this: screw Taker and screw Kane. And I would say screw Vince too, because I wouldn't be surprised it's actually his idea to continue with that nonsense. But seriously, it's ridiculous. I would say screw Taker and screw Kane. It's not their fault. I'm not blaming them in any way, shape, or form for what happened, because it's not their fault. They probably didn't make this decision. This decision was over them, and they thought it was best for business. But it was not best for business. It actually did pretty much 86 any kind of push that Bray Wyatt has. Now he has to work even harder to get. He probably won't even be able to get to the pinnacle that he was. The peak of his career was his debut. That's sad? That's pathetic. The peak of his career was his debut. And then from there, it's like steps. It's like steps going down. I want to see Bray Wyatt be the future. I don't want him in the past this early. So, like I said, if they're that afraid of trying something new, if they're that afraid of damaging the legacy of Undertaker and Kane, screw them both. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Peace out. I'm out, y'all.